Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video I will show you a very important competitive program which is asked inside interviews. Whenever you go to interviews, it will be asked what is the way by which we can add two numbers in Python using the concept of recursion. Recursion is a concept in which we call the same function inside. uh, Let me show you the concept where we call the function selflessly. So we have a function inside Python here. So let's suppose I define this recursive function and I pass a value here of a, and here I will simply compare this value. If a reaches to 0, then we break out of this loop and we simply print out hello, and we simply break. Until that, we actually call the same function right here. We simply decrement the value a minus 1. So essentially we declared this recursive function. We take this input as an argument here, the value of a, then we compare it inside this if condition, that if the value of a reaches to 0, then we print this statement of hello and we break out of this function. And until that, we recursively call this function, the same function, and decrement the value of a. So now let me just call this function. So if I say the value of a, initial value of a is 5. So now the how the function will execute. So you can just see, whenever I'm calling this function, the initial value of a is equal to 5. So it will reach right here, it will be 5 here, and now this condition will evaluate to false here. This will not be executed. Then it will come here. So the a value will be decremented. So 5 minus 1. So this will be 4. So this will now be 4. So this will again come right here. 4 minus 1. This will be 3. So this again will be 3. This will be 3 minus 1 now. This will be 2. Again this will come. So 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. And again it will come 1 minus 1. So this will reach this condition here. The a will become 0. And now at that time, we will get this hello statement. So we can even print out the value of a. So if I try to execute this program, if you see, so it is saying that you should have indentation. Sorry, we should have this else statement right here. Let me just delete this and again run this. Let me just correct this error. I think there is some kind of error. Let me ask ChatGPT here. It will. Okay. Break outside loop. Sorry, this needs to be inside. Corrected version. So sorry. So now we simply return from this function by writing the return keyword, not break. Break is not there inside Python. If you want to exit out the function, we simply write return right here. So now what happens, if you see, if I try to print out the value of a as well, initial value of a will be 5, and as you can see, the output comes initial value is 5, then it becomes 4, 3, 2, 1, and then at last we print out the value of hello. So this is actually the concept of recursion, and using this similar concept we will be adding two numbers. So this function will now change here. So we will simply define this function which will take two values, a comma b, And here inside this we will check for the value of b. If it reaches 0, then we simply return the a, and then in the else scenario we again call the same function recursive add, and this is the logic of this. We increment the value of a by 1 and decrement the value of b by 1. So here we are incrementing it a plus 1 and decrementing the value of b minus 1. So this is the way by which we recursively add two numbers inside Python. So if I try to call this function, initial value of a is, let's suppose, 5 and b is 3. So now the result will be 5 plus 3, 8. But let me show you how it executes. So if I go to the terminal and just add, so now the result comes out to be 8. So how it executes, this is the most important thing. So now initial value, as you can see, the a value is 5, b is 3. So initial is a is equal to 5, b is equal to 3. So now we come to our function. So here b is not equal to 0, so this will not execute. We come to this, we again call this function, so we increment. So now the value of a becomes 5 plus 1 is equal to 6, and b becomes 3 minus 1, 2. So 6 comma 2, we again call this function. So b is not equal to 0, so again it will ignore this, and again 6 plus 1 comes out to be 7, and again 2 minus 1 comes out to be 1. So 7 comma 1, and then again it will call itself. So b is not again 0, so again it will come to this function again. 7 plus 1 is equal to 8, and then 1 minus b value is 1, so 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So now the argument becomes 8 comma 0. So now if we are checking here if b's value is equal to 0, so in this case b is 0, so now we are returning a, which is 8. So we are simply returning from this function return is equal to and printing out 8. So in this way we are not directly adding 5 plus 3, but instead we are incrementing a every time and decrementing b. This is the mathematical logic behind the recursively adding two numbers. So if you want to add two numbers, essentially the logic is we increment every time this number and decrementing this one. So 5 plus 1 6 and 3 minus 1 2. So essentially we're transferring this to this. So this is the logic how we can add recursively two numbers. This is a program. So I hope that I have explained you perfectly in this video. Thank you very much for watching this video, and also check out my website freemediatools.com, which contains thousands of tools.